Hello, and welcome to Storytime with Stokes. Are we ready for another read aloud? All right, I am too. So, we are going to do Big Al today. This is one of my favorite books. And look at Big Al, he's pretty big, right? But instead of like practicing our normal reading and predicting and those type of strategies, we are going to focus in on some vocabulary today, okay? So let's learn some new words and hopefully we can use them a little later. Let's see. Big Al is by Yoshi and Andrew Clements. In the wide blue sea, there was a very friendly fish named Big Al. You cannot find a nicer fish. Doo-doo-doo. Big Al was also very scary. Ooh, look at it. Would any of you be scared of Big Al if you saw him in the ocean? Maybe. Other fish seemed to have at least one friend. Some had many, but Big Al had none. He did not really blame the other fish. How could he expect a little fish to trust a great big fish with eyes and skin and teeth like this? So Big Al was lonely and he cried big salty tears into the big salty sea. But Big Al really wanted friends, so he worked at it. First, he tried wrapping himself up with seaweed. He thought it was a great disguise. The word disguise. I'm pretty sure you guys know what that means. But let's look. A great disguise. What does it look like he's doing with himself? If I look at the pictures, I see there's some, wow, seashells on him. He has some type of like seaweed or something, algae maybe. And then he has a starfish. So that means that he's probably trying to cover himself up, right? So disguise means a way to like cover yourself. So he had a great disguise, but no one else did. Who wants to stop and talk to a floating plant that has big sharp teeth? Then he thought that if he puffed himself up and round, the other fish would laugh and see how clever and silly he could be. What does the word clever mean? Clever and silly he could be. If I'm looking at the sentence, sometimes you can find vocabulary by looking at the sentence and reading it again. So then he thought that if he puffed himself up round, the others would laugh and see how clever and silly he was. Maybe, what do you guys think? I think it's probably like, somewhat of a quick thinker or somebody who is intelligent or smart. So funny and smart. You want to go with that? I think that's pretty good. All they saw was how big he could be, and they steered clear. There's another vocabulary word in there, steered clear. What do you think steered clear means? What does it look like the fish are doing? Steered. So steered is something like staying away or keeping away. You steered in one direction, so it's a directional term, really, sorry. Um, but yes, so it's like to go the other way, so they did not want to be around him, which is really sad. How do you guys think, question, how do you guys think Big Al is feeling right now? We talk a lot about character traits and how a character feels on the inside as well as the outside. So he's trying all these ways to have friends, and nobody is really seeing him as a friend. They've seen him more as scary. So that probably makes him feel probably what? Sad, alone, um, lonely. Nobody wants to feel like that. So let's see what continues to happen with Big Al. I really want him to get some friends. Let's see what happens. Very early one morning, Big Al went down to the bottom and flopped and wiggled himself into the sand until he was almost covered up. He looked much smaller. When the other fish came near, Big Al talked and joked with them and had a delightful time. What do you think the word delightful means? When you have a delightful time. Can you hear it in my voice? If he was talking to people, it means he probably was feeling what? Better about himself. People weren't scared of him anymore. They were laughing. So delightful, we're going to go with a synonym for delightful. Could be happy or a great time or a joyous time, something like that. So it means to have, happy feelings. But then one scratchy little grain of sand got stuck in his gills. And he sneezed. Achoo! When the clouds of sand cleared away, all the other fish were gone. Oh, poor Al. Look at him with all his fish friends. Now look at him. Oh, poor guy. Big Al even changed his color one day so he could look like he belonged to a school of tiny fish passing by. He bubbled along with them for a while, laughing and feeling like he was just one of the crowd. But he was so big and clumsy. What is clumsy? Sometimes I can be clumsy. Clumsy is when you're just kind of flopping all over the place. Sometimes you might trip over your shoestrings or bump into somebody by mistake or drop something like a pen, a pencil, a bowl of cereal. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? So the word clumsy means, just flopping all over the place. That when all the fish darted to the left and then quickly back to the right, Big Al just plowed straight ahead. He went bumping and thumping right into the little fish. Before he could even say, "Excuse me," they were gone, and he was all alone again, sadder than ever. Poor Al. Just when Big Al was starting to be sure that he would never have a single friend, something happened. He was floating along, sadly watching some of the smaller fish, and was wishing that they would come closer. As he watched a net drop down silently from above, and in an instant they were caught. Oh no. Dun 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 dun. We have a problem. Dun 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 dun. They're caught. Let's see what happens. Big Al forgot all about being lonely, and he forgot all about being sad. His eyes bulged out bigger and rounder than ever, and with a mighty flip of his tail, he opened his mouth and charged straight ahead at the net. The net was strong, but Big Al was stronger. He ripped right through it, and all the little fish rushed out through the hole. Ah! Dun 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 dun. Dun. We have a solution. And the solution was Big Al. And he plowed through, meaning going straight through to the net, grabbed it, and let all the fish free. Aww. Big Al's a hero, guys. But when Big Al tried to turn around and go out of the hole, he got tangled up in the net and he was stuck. Uh-oh, we have another problem. The net was higher and higher toward the bright surface of the sea, and the little fish watched Big Al as he disappeared above them. When the little fish were able to speak, all they talked about was the huge, wonderful fish that had saved them. How great to be free! But what a shame that this big fellow had been captured. Aww. What does the word captured mean? Look at him. And now he's floating up. So to be captured means to be what? Taken away. We're going to go with that. Taken away. Just then, there was a tremendous crashing splash. Everybody say tremendous. Tremendous. What does the word tremendous mean? It's a really, really big word. So if it's a really, really big word, it might mean a really, really big crash. So tremendous means to take over. It was just all around. A tremendous crash splashing above them, and the small fish dashed away. Was it the net again? Uh-oh, they were scared. But here comes the solution. Not at all. It was Big Al. Those fishermen took one look at him and threw him right back into the ocean. So that him being that big, big fish really came in handy, huh? He saved the fish and himself. And now there is one huge, puffy, scary, fierce-looking fish in the sea who has more friends than anyone else. Guess what his name is? Big Al. Go Big Al. Get busy. It's your birthday. Go Big Al. The end. So, I love that book. It's one of my favorites. It's such a cute story. I'm glad Big Al got some, friends at the end. What I'm going to challenge each of you to do, if you don't mind, the words that we talked about, the vocabulary words, maybe after seeing this story, and you might want to run it back through, you jot down the words and try to make sentences with them. So one of the words was tremendous. Another one was, you get the idea. Go back and read and listen again. Well, you're not really reading, I'm reading. But go back and listen to me read and see if you can make some sentences with the vocabulary words. Alrighty. Look forward to reading again. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye.